Hi, welcome to the show. This is Biz Dev Weekly, the business development show. I'm Kersten Kloss. Thanks for watching. Today I would like to talk to you about the idea of Toronto telemarketing. Now, Torontonians and Toronto business in general, you're familiar with telemarketers, you're familiar with individuals calling you with scripted messages by phone. Most cases this has occurred on a business-to-consumer application, those calls that come in the evening where somebody is trying to sell you on services, whether it be cell phone services or upgrading your contracts on home power utilities, whatever it might be. The challenge for business to business is that you can't just script a simple message and send it out to everybody in a cold call. First of all, business owners don't like the intrusion in their business day. They want to find out about the product immediately and often make a decision based on a few questions they might ask. Objections are very often well-versed to dealing with cold callers and telemarketers, and you know, they'll throw up the objections pretty quick, and then you basically lose that opportunity. So telemarketing in a business-to-business sense is a challenging and daunting task. Now, we interviewed Oren Klaff. Now, Oren is the author of Pitch Anything, and Pitch Anything basically is a book about how to take your product and engage high-stakes targets as far as business owners, business moguls, getting in and pitching the product, converting that person into believing that you're the best choice for them and for their company. Now, Oren has written a book about this called Pitch Anything. You can pick it up on Amazon.com. And we interviewed Oren last year about his book and about his concepts, his psychology around selling. Now, I thought it would be an opportune time for me to, raise this, pull out some of these excerpts from this interview we had with Oren and apply it to the idea of Toronto telemarketing. Now, in the case of cold calling for businesses, I think you're going to learn a lot of really very interesting points that Oren brings up in his interview. So let's just watch this for a minute, and I'll follow up afterwards with a few comments.
Cold calling is about managing the social interaction, right? Because it's the fastest proof point that you can get to, is that you're a cool, relevant, social, interesting, intriguing person to deal with. You are humorous, experienced, you understand the value of time, and that you have some intriguing experiences to share. Nobody wants to take a meeting with someone where they know what will be discussed, what the outcome is, and feel like they can predict the end of the call at the beginning. This is the problem with, in my view, most cold calling, is I can predict the end of the call at the beginning of it. All right? So the way you deal with, with cold calls is novelty, intrigue, tension, humor, and social relevance. If you can put those things in your cold call, then anyone. I mean, I pride myself on being able to get anyone on a call for a few minutes. And that's one of the things, like, in the groups I'm in, they're like, oh, how can we get a relationship with so-and-so? I mean, don't worry about that. I'll just get them on the phone, right? It's the ability to combine intrigue, novelty, humor, and social sense quickly and respect time that will take a cold call into a social situation instantly.
So that's basically how the interview went with Oren Klaff. We went on to talk about all kinds of aspects of pitching products, but the key here and things that he talked about in this short excerpt, I have to bring light to: respecting time, relevance, interestingness, and entertainment. Now, how do you do that in an initial cold call, especially when you have lists and lists and lists of people that you want to probe and find out if they're interested in your products? Well, the angle is to actually spin it around, to actually create intrigue first, respecting their time, getting them to contact you through an intriguing introduction. And this is what we do with our sales process. Is we have a way of changing the way you engage your audience. So what we do basically is we build lists for companies, and we can pretty much build a list targeting any market in any region of the world. All you have to do is tell us what your target market is and who you're aiming it for, and we can build a list of 200, 400, 600, 1,000 people, phone numbers, email addresses. And what we do is we engage them with a topic that is intriguing to them. It might be a sensitivity issue. It might be a problem they have in their industry. It might be related to some challenges they've had in recent times. It might be a market swing. It might be information about the market in general. It could also be talking about success stories in the industry. What you want to do is you want to create an intriguing story that attracts them to you. Now, during that intriguing story, you want to sensitize them to their problems, to the problems they have. And most companies have common problems. If you understand your market, you understand exactly what those problems are. But don't be out there pushing that at first. You want to sensitize them to them through a story, through an interaction. Now, what we do here is we interview you about topics. Now, we can interview you, or you can interview one of your guests. You can bring in a special guest, whether it's a subject matter expert or whatever you have in your arsenal of contacts. Create an interview using an online Skype interview, using Skype calls, similar to what CNN, BNN, all the business networks do. They do actually do this quite often, creating that interview. Now, during that interview, of course, you're positioning your product as a potential solution through the nuances of the conversation. Now, what we do is we set up a landing page that includes this interview. Then what we do is we engage those lists with intrigue, telling them we have an interview that discusses the topics that might interest them. Now, a percentage of them are going to actually respond to that email and actually go to that page and consume that video. And then we have ways in which to track and follow them with your advertising following that view. There are ways to do that using online tools, using Google tools, in order to be able to show banners and have banners follow them around the internet. That's the first step. But the real powerful step is that after you've sent out this email, after we've sent out these emails to all these companies, what you do is you follow it up with a phone call. Now, we have a process where you, as the person who invited them, can leave a voicemail with us, and we will leave that voicemail with everyone on the list. Now, some people might pick up the phone. They won't receive any message, nothing. But if they do go to voicemail, what happens is your voicemail message will show up on their incoming call, and they will likely call you back for more information about that interview. What you're doing here is you've introduced intrigue, you've respected their time because you're only leaving them a voicemail. You're very relevant to their interests because you understand what they're interested in their business. And the key here is that you are promoting entertainment. This is something that's going to entertain them and not sell to them. So they're going to ask for it. You pass them on to the website. They can watch that video, consume it, but more than likely they're going to call you back going, hey, how did you know that I have these issues? Where did you find out this information? They're going to ask questions, and all of a sudden you've shifted the cold call into a warm lead. You've created an environment where you've built trust with the person that you're targeting, and now they're talking to you about their issues. So this is the process that we do. Now follow the links associated with this video, and you can get more information on how we captivate hundreds and hundreds of companies for you into this system that converts the cold calling process, the telemarketing process, into a lead generation machine that'll help you dominate and crush your competition when it comes to finding new leads in your target market. So I'm Kersten Kloss. Thank you very much for watching. You've been watching BizDev Weekly, the business development show. Take care.